tell me what you need. Hi friends, I'm Lauren and Shelby.
And I'm Nora.
And tonight we're gonna cook a little bit of
spaghetti squash.
And tonight we're cooking spaghetti squash. Wow!
Squash, squash.
Once you cook it in the oven, it turns into noodles.
Well, sort of noodles. Don't lie to people.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not like noodles. It's not like somebody's Italian grandmother made noodles, but it is nice noodles. They're somewhat like noodles. If you squint your eyes and don't think really hard, they're noodles. But anyway, first things first, you gotta cut this puppy open. This is the dangerous part. So I don't want to cut myself because we can't go to the hospital. If you're struggling, you can put it in the microwave for 20 seconds and that softens it a little bit. The magic of television. Tonight, we are making a double feature. This side, we're making pad thai. This side, we're making spaghetti with the bolognese sauce. So we're scooping out the inside of the squash. We just want to get the seeds and a little bit of this membrane area out. We don't want to take out too much of the meat. Scoop with the spoon. It's like Halloween. It's a gourd. Oh my gourd. Seeds out. I'm gonna leave all the rest of that in there. Next, we're gonna put it in the oven for 30 to 40 minutes at 400 degrees. But we need to put it on the pan and we need to oil it. We need to do a couple of things to it first. Yeah, pan. Plop. We need some olive oil.
Ooh, what do you want me to do?
Just a little bit of olive oil on each one of them, so it's covering the inside.
Drizzle.
That's great. I'm gonna put some salt and some pepper in there. Last week was the first time that I noticed that the pepper grinder, it has settings. Like the regular McCormick, it has little bitty and then middle and big grind. So we got these. We're going into the oven. Whole series should be called Lauren Shelby Chops and Onion. So I did them in little slivers because they're gonna go along with the pad thai. We're gonna let that cool down a little bit and then we're gonna fork through all of the little noodles. So for the pad thai, we are going to put as many vegetables in here as possible. Some celery, a zucchini, some bok choy that was left over from last week when we got a large amount of bok choy. We didn't eat it all, so we just chopped it up and put it in the freezer. Leftover broccoli slaw that we also put in the freezer because we thought it was gonna go bad. And we also have carrots. Those we're gonna put in there later. A way that I like to deal with different textures in a dish is to chop your vegetables in different ways. So some things are gonna be a little bit more crunchier, some things are gonna be a little bit more done. Ribboning things. I did some ribbons, some I cut in half, and then I just did them down the lines of the celery. So we have a pretty substantial amount of celery. We're gonna cut up some zucchini as well. Zucchini, celery, onions. Our meat tonight is chicken. So we want little bitty chicken bits. I'm using chicken breasts. You can also use chicken thighs. I actually really like chicken thighs in pad thai because when you saute them in the skillet, you do that first before you do the vegetables, and you've got a little bit of that chicken fat that's already in the pan. So you use that to cook with. I'm gonna chop these up really quick, and then we'll get them starting to saute in the pan. We're cooking 4 pieces of chicken tonight because we want leftovers. We always want leftovers. We probably would want like a breast and a half if we didn't want leftovers. I'm gonna go wash my hands. We have our cut up chicken. I want to put a little bit of salt and pepper on it. I'm also gonna put a little squeezy garlic and a little squeezy ginger in there, and I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit.
Now I'm gonna go wash my hands.
It's time to get saucy. Making a pad thai sauce, there are lots of recipes on the internet on how to make these. A lot of them are wrong. There's no peanut butter in a pad thai sauce. Like if you get takeout from like a Thai place, they don't put peanut butter in their pad thai sauce. No, don't put it in yours at home either. Here's what we are gonna put in it. Rice wine vinegar, sriracha sauce, fish sauce, limes, brown sugar, tamarind concentrate. Would my lovely assistant tell us about tamarind?
Tamarind is a fruit that has antioxidant properties.
What would you say the tamarind tastes like? Delicious. Delicious.
But it's a fruit. Who knew it was a fruit?
I didn't know it was a fruit. I thought it was a legume.
Really?
Because it looks like a bean. Tamarind.
It may be a fruit, it may be a seed, but it's delicious.
I would say that this one is like, it's a little bit sour,
Like
it's
tart.
a little bit earthy, it's a little bit sweet.
Tart.
It's tart. As you've seen in the first episode of this series, I don't measure anything. So I just add things until it tastes right. Let's see how it goes. Rice vinegar, because this is the one that I have the least amount of. Fish sauce. Very little of the fish sauce. I'm just gonna crumble some brown sugar in there. Tamarind. Just gonna pour some in there. This is probably where people go to peanut butter if they can't get the tamarind. But I don't think that it tastes anything like peanut butter. So I'm gonna put a little bit of sriracha in there. Start with a couple of wedges, and then we'll mix it and we'll taste it. We'll mix all of that together.
How do we look? I feel like it's...
It looks like
Does
it's
it taste
done.
good?
Yeah, it tastes good.
Tastes like pad thai. I would say that this is about 2 cups of liquid, maybe?
It could be 2 cups.
It could be 2 cups.
Next, chicken. We're heating up a pan with some coconut oil in it right now. We're gonna let that saute in the pan for a little while. In the meantime, let's look at our squash. It's been out of the oven for a really long time. So now we have this lovely little inside of the squash that we can take a fork and just scrape out the inside all the way to the skin. All of that's usable. It's gonna come out in little strings. Let's show you how. It's still a little bit warm, so I'm gonna hold the squash with a towel. See, we'll start like this inside the squash itself, and then I'll start putting it in a bowl. So it comes out in little strings. That is all I'm gonna get out of that squash. All right, that chicken is looking good in the pan. Getting some nice good browning on there. All right, now that the chicken's done, we're gonna put that aside into a different bowl, and we're gonna cook our vegetables. All right, so I'm gonna put the same skillet at a medium heat. I'm gonna put a little bit more oil in it, and then I'm gonna put in my vegetables, get them sauteing up a little bit. Then we're going to add everything back in, put the pad thai sauce on it, and we're gonna combine it all together. Celery and onions. They all look the same. They all look the same. We wanna get the onions and the celery down to translucent. but we don't want them to be overcooked. We still want them to have a little bit of bite to them. I think that looks pretty good. Time to add in our zucchini. I usually put onions, celery, carrots, and then some type of green vegetable like kale or spinach in my pad thai, but that's not like traditional or anything. Cabbage is a thing that you put in pad thai. Pad thai is usually made with rice noodles, but we're trying to make everything the noodle. So we've got our onions, we've got our celery, we've got our zucchini. We're about to throw in the carrots. The noodle. Round of carrots. La 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 la. Putting in the rest of the broccoli slaw. Let's get the bok choy. So friends, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let the vegetables cook down a little bit more, get a little bit of the liquid out of them. In the meantime, we're gonna take that sauce that we made and we're gonna put it into a pot. That's gonna let the sauce kind of reduce a little bit and make it a little lot stickier, which is what you want from your pad thai sauce. You want it to be nice and sticky. You want that brown sugar to start to caramelize a little bit and it'll touch everything and make everything delicious. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, we're reducing that a little bit. All right, that looks great. We're gonna throw the spaghetti squash into the pan with all the other vegetables. That's looking great. There we go with that. All right, so we're incorporating all of the vegetables in with the spaghetti squash. Let's add the sauce. We'll mix it all in. It's going to taste delicious. And it's going to be super veggie forward. Chicken in the pan. Mix everything up. And that, my friends, is a mess in a pan.
I like that celery in there.
All right, so from this point, you can plate it in a big bowl. I like to put cilantro and green onions on top. If you like peanuts, you can sprinkle a little bit of crushed peanuts on top. It adds a little bit of more texture to it. Put some sriracha sauce on it if you want it to be spicier. I made it pretty mild for us, just enough to give us a little bit of taste. That's pad thai. That's half of the spaghetti squash. We'll show you more later. This is what our last shot is.
Yeah.